Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
I am fine. What
Good,
about you?
good, very good. Could you? My name is Michelle.
My name is Ananda Siddhan. You can call shortly Anand.
Anand. Okay, let me write
Yes.
that down so I don't forget. Anand. Anand. Okay. So tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I am from Tamil. I am from India. My native my native place is Tamil Nadu, which is the part of South India. But I
Okay.
am presently staying in New Delhi.
New Delhi. Okay.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes,
So
ma'am.
why do you need to use Cambly to improve your English? What is the purpose, your goal?
Uh, Yes, ma'am. Only the purpose for speaking fluently in my colleague as well as my environment. Further, my daughter is 4 years old. I think I if I uh, speak fluently, that maybe I am to teach my daughter. That's all, ma'am.
Excellent, excellent. So you'll be able to speak together. Now, what do you do for a living?
Yes, ma'am. Presently, I am working as a production supervisor as a in Sarda private company, ma'am.
All right. And how long have you worked at your job?
Job approx 10 years.
10 years. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Now, I noticed that you have a lesson. Did you choose this lesson here?
Yes, ma'am. We can talk in a general topic, particular general topic, which may be comfortable with both sides.
Okay, sure, no problem. No problem.
Yes, yes.
So, tell me about your experiences with English. What have you used it for? Um, when have you needed it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My sorry, ma'am. My atmosphere is in English as well as Hindi.
Okay.
So my mother tongue is Tamil. Uh, I am studying in Tamil as well as in secondary language English.
Mm-hmm.
I am graduated in the major subject of physics. I can read and write and a little bit of talking in English, but I cannot speak fluently with someone. So
Okay.
but my present working atmosphere is mostly speaking English as well as Hindi. So I can capable to speak Hindi because atmosphere is also speaking Hindi. So I
Mhm.
can learn to speak in Hindi, but I cannot read and write. So I
Now,
think yes, ma'am. My
I was
better
gonna.
opportunity.
Yeah, go
Tell
ahead.
me, ma'am. Tell me,
So,
ma'am.
so you're from Tamil.
Yes,
That
yes, yes, ma'am.
a different. Okay. How long have you lived in Delhi?
Yes, ma'am. For the employment purpose in since 10 years.
Since 10 years. So you moved from your home to Delhi.
Yes, 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 yes.
How different are the two places?
Yes, ma'am. Is totally different. Is the tradition, culture, food, and atmosphere is totally different. Approximately 2,480 kilometers from my hometowns and present place of working place.
It's a long it's a long distance. Do you get to
Yes,
go back and visit?
yes, ma'am. Every year I have visited in my hometowns through railway as well as airway.
Okay, good. That's good, especially
Yes,
since you're so far away. Yeah.
yes.
So how is Delhi? Tell me about Delhi.
Delhi is a very beautiful cities. There is a very climate is very difficult because hot is very hottest temperature in nearest area, and the
Yeah.
cold is very too cold in the area. So difficult in my comparison my birthplace.
Oh, Delhi sounds more like where I live, which is Milwaukee. So in the summer, it gets really, really hot. And in the
Yes,
winter, right now, it's snowing.
yes,
We
yes,
have a
yes,
lot
yes,
of cold weather. Yeah.
yes.
So have you traveled outside of India or Tamil to other, like maybe English speaking countries?
No, no, ma'am. I am only sitting in my country.
So you've been able to learn English without traveling, but always so your English is really good for never traveling outside. That's good.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So what uh what kind of things do you like to do besides work? So you say you have a 4-year-old daughter.
yes,
Do
yes.
you like to do activities with her?
Yes, ma'am. I mostly spend my daughters for playing, as well as teaching her, because COVID pandemic, all the schools and colleges is shut down
Oh
since
yeah.
1 or 2 years. I cannot join my daughter in the schools, because mostly schools and colleges is conducted classes in online virtually. So I think it is not the comfortable period. So I am teaching my daughter in my self.
Yeah. Well, that's actually she's at a good age because she's not missing anything, you know. The kids who were in school who are
Yes, yes,
now not able to go to school, they're kind of disrupted. But I would imagine maybe in a year
yes,
school will
ma'am.
start to open, you think?
But it is nowadays before 6 to 7 month, it is a pandemic period is totally controlled by our country, because a lot of vaccines is uh, donated to all the peoples of India. So
Mhm.
mostly 60 to 67% of peoples is vaccinated nowadays, and the lot of vaccines is doses is given day by day. uh, is totally controlled vaccine diplomacy. So I think it is the schools or colleges is we expected to open in the month of January
Oh,
to February, but
oh
the
good,
control
good.
is out of control nowadays, because the Omicron and Delta Cron new vaccine new variant
Yeah.
is spreaded in our country.
Right. Here it's everywhere. So, but our schools are open. They've been open for about a year. I think that I work at a high school
Yes, ma'am.
and we've been open for this is a year and a half. We were closed down for like one semester. And luckily for us, the summer happened right when COVID hit. So we
Yes,
were
yes,
already closed. We closed down for 2 months, then summer, and then the first semester of 2020. 2020. And then in 2021, a year ago, we opened up. So it's actually, we've been pretty good. We haven't had a lot of, maybe one or two cases, but everybody wears a mask. Everybody, if you're not
yes,
vaccinated, you get tested all the
yes, yes,
time. Yeah.
yes,
So we've
yes,
been
ma'am.
pretty good. We're lucky. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, are
Yeah.
you vaccinated?
Yeah.
Uh,
I've actually had all three. I've had the booster too.
booster two vaccinated. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Okay. I
But
have two vaccinations.
I've also had the regular flu shot. So I've had four
Yes,
shots.
yes. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
What
okay.
about yourself?
I have vaccinated two doses in Covishield in our
Mm.
country, but the
Yeah.
booster dose is already opened since first 3rd January in our area. I
Yeah.
am coming to vaccine, but the some of the pressures in our working place, so I cannot vaccinate it. Further, I am vaccine Monday. Till we
Well, that's
till
good. Yeah, the longer you take to get your booster, um, I think it's better in some ways
yes,
because, you know, these shots they kind of fade. The the efficacy, the effectiveness kind of
yes,
goes away with time, right? So
yes,
if
yes,
you spread it out a little bit, maybe it's helpful. But I will tell you this, my brother, his son, and his girlfriend, they all got COVID and they all were vaccinated with boosters.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. But it's that Omicron. So none of them were sick. My brother found out he was positive because he was going to travel. So to get on a plane, you have to have a test. And so he went to go get the test and he was positive, but his
Yes.
wife was negative.
Yes, yes, yes.
So they couldn't fly. And he had no symptoms. He was just positive. That's all. Yeah. So a lot of people have it. They just don't know it.
Yes, yes.
Especially
I think that
the yeah.
I read articles in since 2 to 3 years before. Covaxin in Indian mad Covaxin vaccine is effectively to counter newly variant of Delta current Omicron. I think
Mhm.
we have successfully faced the new variant, ma'am.
So they have like a new so I guess like what they're seeing in Boston, they see this spike, and now it's
Yes,
already coming down. It's a very quick up and down.
yes,
Um the hospital numbers are later, so they kind of follow, but
yes,
the actual spike is coming down. So maybe this new variant is it's very contagious, but maybe it will go away. We
yes,
hope.
yes,
And then there'll be another one,
yes,
hopefully weaker and weaker, because I found out that my great great uncle,
yes.
him and his wife died of the the pandemic in 1918. So
Wow.
back in 1918, there was another pandemic,
Yes,
a
yes,
international flu pandemic, Spanish
yes,
flu, I guess. Um,
yes, yes.
and they were maybe 30 at the time, and they had 4 children, and the parents died. I just found out about that. Um, but that flu, there was no vaccine back then. It
Yes, yes.
just disappeared, kind of. Probably the regular flu we have now is probably some variation
Yes, ma'am.
of
Yes, yes.
that flu from 100 years ago. So maybe this COVID
Yes, yes.
will disappear. I hope.
Okay, we can manage it because 1918 the period we have no vaccines,
No
no
vaccines.
technologies now that time. So, but nowadays we can lots of vaccines. We have lots
Right.
of technologies we have, so we can manage it too. But take a little bit of time. Two to approximately 1 or 2 years is more is needed to counter the new variants as well as the pandemic periods.
Yeah, I think so. I'm hopeful. I see the light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. Have you ever heard that expression? You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, yes,
You know that? Cuz
yes, yes,
it's like there's this feeling that things are getting better. Things are
yes,
getting better. Yeah. I hope. And you know, movement around the world is going to start picking up, I think.
yes, ma'am.
But so in India they have a strict control, like lockdown.
Yes, ma'am. We have there is a strict control in the weekend. Friday 10 p.m. start the uh, lockdowns, and approximately 55 hours is totally strict lockdown we have followed nowadays. As well as vaccine doses is also given each and every people's. Approximately 67 percentage of peoples of India is also vaccinated. As well as we have productions is also going on, and nowadays we can helpful and gifted to the poor nations and neighborhood Asian nations. So a little bit of difficult nowadays.
Yeah. So it's doing better, and yeah, that's great. I think in the United States we're at about 60. I know that there's like 80% or 90% have had the first dose. But I think only about 67% have had
Yes.
both.
In India,
Um,
135 crores approx population. So we can fully vaccination is a very big process in our country. We can manage it, ma'am. We can manage it in one.
are people allowed to choose to get vaccinated? Can they choose?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, oh, our time is up. It was nice
Yes,
to
yes.
meet you, Anand. I hope to
Okay,
meet you again sometime. I'll
okay, ma'am. Bye again.